What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Call of Duty World War II on BlackTideTV. In today's episode, we are looking at the Shamrock and Awe operation, as well as a massive supply drop loot pool overhaul that I'm very excited to share with you guys. Most of this information is coming out of the weekly community update, which Sledgehammer Games has recently started to roll out, which I think is an amazing addition, and it's something that the Call of Duty community has been sorely lacking, this communication from the developers. However, ever since the departure of Michael Condrey and Glenn Schofield, I feel like Sledgehammer Games is running like a well-oiled machine. We are going really well here. We're seeing a lot of great improvement to the game that we've been asking for from launch, and quite possibly Shamrock and Awe may have saved this game, at least for me. So we're going to talk about Shamrock and Awe in this video, and probably 2 or 3 others. I want to get into some other topics, but first things first, let's talk about this loot pool, because this is the most exciting news of the day in my opinion, because you guys know how much I love to do those supply drop openings. I've never bought a COD point in my life. I like to do it all with hard work and dedication, playing the game, earning those armory credits, earning those supply drops, and showing you that you can get some of these items in-game without spending tons and tons of cash on the game itself, because I do not believe in that whole method. And it's really great to see that they are making it a lot easier to get the things that you want in-game without spending any money. So the quartermaster and supply drop updates. First things first, increased number of weapons and premium content per update. We're adding new ranged weapons, more cosmetic weapon variants, and themed uniforms with a commitment to double down on these categories moving forward, so you'll be able to get more of the content that you want. A big problem from the very beginning of this game is that there were a lot of items that are meant to just fill up the loot pool so that you cannot get the items that you want, like weapon variants, new weapons, and uniforms. Debatably, I'm not a big fan of the uniforms. I don't care what my guy looks like. I just want to have the coolest gun, because I can't see my guy anyways. Fortnite, third person, you can see your guy. But the only time I'm seeing my guy in Call of Duty is when I'm dying, and I don't want to die as often as I have to look at my guy. So as long as my gun looks cool, I'm okay with that. Uniforms, debatable on whether or not that's the content that you actually want, but I think it's pretty clear that most people want to see those weapon variants. That's what everyone gets excited about when they're doing their supply drop openings. They get that heroic weapon variant that they wanted, or that new ranged weapon, that completely different, statistically different weapon that they get out of a supply drop. That's always exciting, that's always fun, and there's going to be more of those items in supply drops going forward. There's also going to be more ways to earn weapons. So this isn't just supply drop exclusive, this is quartermaster and supply drop update. So more ways to earn weapons. We are offering a variety of paths to obtain the most wanted weapons and weapon variants in game, as more will be made available via orders and contracts, in addition to existing weapon collections and supply drops. There are new base Operation Breakout or Overlord, I'm not exactly sure. The original operation of contracts and special orders and the whole collection menu, there are more items in there now. You can now go into there and complete more collections and get more newer items. With Shamrock and Awe, they did happen to add in 2 new ranged weapons. There's an SMG and an LMG. They're both very hard to unlock, unfortunately, and I am saving up currently to do another supply drop opening. So I haven't got my hands on them yet, but they do look very cool. And they've also added in a ton of weapon variants. If you've been a fan of the channel, or maybe you're just savvy on Call of Duty news, there are a lot of weapon variants in Call of Duty World War II that we don't have access to. In fact, the game code has tons and tons, dozens of variants for almost every weapon in the game that we can't even see in game unless we glitch out the game in a certain private match. I believe that's even been patched. So there are a ton of variants for almost every weapon in this game that we don't have access to. This recent Shamrock and Awe update has given us access to those variants. You can now look at them. If you click on whatever weapon you're looking at, you can see all of the variants, and some of those variants we now have access to. We don't have them all yet, which I'm still a little stingy about, but there are a lot more variants, there are a lot more options for you, and you're going to be finding those items in supply drops, and you'll be able to complete collections and get those items from the armory, which is really cool. So there are more ways to earn those weapons. There's also new orders. I've noticed that the DLC weapons, the ranged weapons that are statistically different from the weapons in game, they are starting to roll out new special contracts. There's a contract today where if you complete, it's actually 4,000 armory credits, so it's not cheap, but if you buy the contract for 4,000 armory credits, I believe there is no time limit, and you get 15 headshots with an SMG, and they'll just give you the Sten submachine gun in your hands for 15 submachine gun headshots. And all you have to do is purchase it for 4,000 armory credits. That's a lot of armory credits, but it's definitely worth it. If you're going to be spending your armory credits in any way, I would definitely go for those contracts if you don't have those weapons yet. Unfortunately, if you have the weapon, it's totally not worth your time. You're not going to want to unlock the Sten again and waste 4,000 armory credits if you already have the Sten. It just doesn't make sense. So that is a really cool way to unlock weapons, and there's also a new weekly contract, I believe, and that weekly contract was for 100 suppressed submachine gun kills, and that one is actually going to unlock the handler variant of the M1928, the Tommy submachine gun. That one there, it's a pretty cool variant. It's the black and gold version that a lot of variants are in this game, but I really like it, and you'll see it in some upcoming videos for sure when we're going to be talking about the game mode specifically from Shamrock and Awe, like the leprechaun hunt that you were seeing in today's gameplay. We're not talking about that today, not quite. I'll mention it towards the end of the video. This is more of the supply drop update patch notes because this is huge. Like all of the things that they're doing, I'm so proud of Sledgehammer Games. It's exactly what the COD community has wanted with the supply drop system, how they're treating it now, and they're actually listening to community feedback. But moving on here, we've got more ways to earn weapons. Lowered duplicate rates. We are reducing the frequency of duplicates you'll receive within supply drops to deliver more content in every drop, and this is 100% truthful. Renman was opening some supply drops in headquarters earlier, and he was not receiving duplicates, and that is huge because he has a lot of items in the game. He does purchase COD points, and he has almost every item in the game, I'm sure of it. So he was not getting duplicates earlier, which is huge. I can't even begin to describe to you how big that is. And I get duplicates a lot. At least in my previous supply drop openings, it would be like 9 supply drops out of 10, all 3 items are a duplicate. And he's sitting here opening like 3 or 4 supply drops in a row, no duplicates in any of them. That's very exciting. I know everyone hates duplicates, and especially when all they do is give you extra armory credits. It can be good to have those armory credits, but I'd much rather have the variants and other items in the game that I don't already have. Rebalance category reward rates. This will ensure you are getting a wider variety of content categories within every drop, which will make the unboxing experience more satisfying. We've heard you on what it feels like to get triple duplicate pistol grip, so you're going to see more variety in the items that you are unlocking, which is good and bad, because sometimes you might get 3 weapon variants, and that's crazy. That's super lucky. That won't be happening as often either. What they're saying here is that there's a better chance of all 3 of your items in any given supply drop to be randomized. So you'll get a pistol grip, you'll get experience points, and then you'll get a weapon variant. Or you'll get an outfit, you'll get a hat, and then you'll get like extra armor credits. So that's how it's going to be. It's going to be more spaced out. You're going to see a lot more variety in terms of the 3 options that you have in opening supply drops, which is good and bad, as I just explained to you. New special orders. We heard your feedback on certain weapons being available only via common supply drops and how hard they are to get. We are moving these into special orders so that they are easier to access. Now this is news to me. Apparently there are weapon variants that are exclusive to common supply drops, and maybe that's why I have a whole bunch of variants that I can't seem to unlock. Maybe they're supply drop, common supply drop exclusive, but that will no longer be a thing. They said they're moving certain variants and weapons to special orders. Special orders only come up every so often, but they give you access to some very cool items like weapon bribes and other crazy weapons. For a long time, almost every DLC weapon, every ranged DLC weapon that was added to the game was immediately turned into a special contract. And if you completed 50 matches, you would have that weapon. So I'm interested to see what these common supply drop exclusive items are and what we'll have to do to unlock them through special contracts. New categories of items. You will have more ways to customize your soldier and loadout with the introduction of weapon charms, camos, and reticles. This is my least favorite part of this update because why do we need that? We already have so many customizable options in Call of Duty World War II, and in fact, a lot of the things that they've added in from day one have been taking a step back in the supply drop system, like pistol grips. Nobody ever likes pistol grips. If you like pistol grips, I don't even know if you have a soul, because those things are just there to fill up the loot pool. As we were discussing earlier, we want weapon variants, we want outfits, debatably. We do not want pistol grips. We don't want weapon camouflages. The camouflages that you unlock through completing challenges are enough, and they've been enough in the Call of Duty franchise for years and years and years. But all of a sudden we need camouflage patterns. I kind of saw this coming because it's been a staple of the supply drop system in the last few Call of Duty games, like Black Ops 3, Infinite Warfare, Modern Warfare Remastered. You open supply drops, you get camouflage patterns. That's just how it goes. And it was really surprising to not see those camouflage patterns when this game launched, but that was because they were treating the game very realistically. The old Sledgehammer games wanted this game to be extremely realistic, and they wouldn't launch any of those crazy looking weapon variants. They wouldn't launch weapon camos. They wouldn't launch weapon charms, which, yes, they are the same as the accessories from Infinite Warfare. If you played Infinite Warfare and you notice those little keychain dangly fucking things, those are back. Yippee. And they're completely ridiculous. There's like hot dog and hamburger ones, and there's eagle heads and all kinds of stupidity. That thing, I could not disagree with that more, but I do like the weapon camouflages debatably. The weapon camouflages, they aren't too in your face, they're not too crazy, but I do like how they're treating the game with a little bit more pizzazz. They know that the game is kind of failing recently, it's kind of stumbling, and they're like, okay, we gotta throw in all of the crazy stuff, we gotta get people back into this game, like again, the game modes from Shamrock and AW, but for the most part, these extra customizable items, that's just going to weigh down the loot pool a lot. And while I am intrigued to see what some of these weapon camouflages are looking like, they can keep the weapon charms. In fact, they can shove those weapon charms somewhere that the sun doesn't shine, because I've never agreed with those from the first place. I like the kill counter clan tag accessories for your weapons, which are in this game, but we don't need weapon charms too. I don't need a keychain to hang from my gun. End of rant. Content changes. We are removing gold foil calling cards and won't be adding new pistol grips to the loot pool. Yep, they found a better thing to add to the loot pool, and that is weapon charms. I'm sorry, I said that the rant was over. I meant it. No more weapon charms charm talk for the rest of this video. But there are no longer going to be pistol grips in the loot pool. Well, if there are pistol grips in the loot pool, there's like 300 of the damn things in the game, but they won't be adding any more. And the gold foil calling cards, the duplicate calling cards that have a gold rim around them, they're not adding any more of those. So that is awesome. And last but not least, armory drops. We're adding a new supply drop type, armory drops, which will function a lot like bribes, but can be obtained for armory credits to provide yet another way to get the content you're after. Armory bribes, you might have, or armory drops I should say, you might have missed these in your quartermaster. When you go to the quartermaster, it's actually part of the upper section of the quartermaster where you would go to buy things with COD points, except there's one now that you can purchase. It's 8,000 armory credits for an epic uniform bribe currently, but these are going to be rotating through, and you'll be able to get weapon bribes and all kinds of crazy stuff up there. And hopefully the price changes as well, because most people can't afford 8,000 armory credits, but that's available now, and you can now purchase special supply drops with armory credits, which is something that a lot of people have been asking for, because armory credits, they're not really good for anything if you complete all of your collections. That is it for the supply drop update. There's a lot of cool stuff happening in Call of Duty World War II. As I said, this Shamrock and AW update may have saved the game. They did a lot of great things with the supply drop system here. They did a lot of great things with the 2 new game modes, the Leprechaun Hunt and Shipment 1944. We'll get into that in a future video. But Shipment from Modern Warfare Remastered, Call of Duty 4, it is back and it is in this game. It's almost as if they are ripping everything out of Raven's playbook. Everything that Raven Software did, because Raven is a co-developer on this game, they're just taking it all from Modern Warfare Remastered, and they're like, that's a great idea. Let's put it into World War II and see if we can drum up some business. So I do like a lot of the things that are coming out of this update, a lot of the changes. Some of the changes I could do without, but let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Are you excited about the supply drop updates? Is this going to intrigue you into supply drops in future Call of Duty games? Because if they continue to listen to the community feedback, and they're doing good things about you know, all of this stuff, then I think supply drops I can see a future with supply drops in the Call of Duty franchise. Of course, I would prefer to not have them, but if they're going to have them, they might as well have them and have them right. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section, hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.